Okay, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you our browser dialer feature, which is fantastic for sales professionals, for instance, because it allows you a hands-free way of dialing a whole bunch of phone calls sequentially. And as I said, you don't need your hands to pick up a phone and hold it next to your ear. You can just talk to your computer right here in the browser using your computer's microphone. There's no mispressed buttons if you've got fat, clumsy fingers, so it kind of eliminates some of the human error of dialing. And again, it's a great way to do a disciplined approach to making your phone calls. When left to my own devices and a telephone, I might make one or two calls and then find an excuse not to make the third call or the fourth call. Whereas a browser dialer, it's dialing one and then immediately moving right into the next call, immediately moving right into the next call. So it's a great little discipline that sales professionals like to use. So the way you go about doing a browser dial is you start with one of your lists of all the people that you want to call. So let's go to my training demo list, where I can use this multi-select box to choose everybody, all 6 people on this list. Or if you only wanted to dial a subset of these people, you could just check off Susie Homebuyer and Frank Homeseller. These are my 2 demo leads that I will choose. And then under this bulk action pull down, we're going to choose browser dialer. So the next dialog is where you can choose what phone line you want to make those calls from. So I've got multiple Twilio phone lines configured with my Spectate, so I'm going to choose from among them. And this time I'm going to choose my sales department. I'm going to imagine that this is the sales team calling up some leads. And I'm going to hit start dialing. And right away, you can see that it is beginning to ring my Susie Homebuyer line, which I already know is just me. It's just another phone line of mine, so I didn't bother to answer that one. So when the first call ends, it's going to present this disposition box where you can optionally enter in some information about how your call went. You can also skip it if you wanted to. But if you check out our other video on how to set up a disposition, this is a good place for you to leave some notes with somebody. So let's say that that you called this person and you wanted to follow up next week, and you could even leave a note for yourself that, I don't know, Susie had to, what's a realistic excuse? Susie had to talk with her mortgage loan officer this week. So, and then when I hit the continue button, it's going to go right forward into my next call, which is Frank Homeseller. So again, that's just me, my other line. So I'm going to give that a ring or so, and then I'm going to hang up. So again, I can put in a disposition here. Let's pretend in this case that I did reach Frank, and I spoke to Frank, and he actually requested a sales call or something like that. And I can put a note in here that he had a few questions for my sales guy. Let's pretend I had a sales guy named Craig. And so I could then enter in that note. Then I could save and continue on to my next call. Or if perhaps I had a task I needed to do, I needed to go use the bathroom, I needed to go to a meeting or something, you could save it and pause in place. And then when I return to my computer, I could pick right up where I left off. Or indeed, you could just hit my call stack is done. So I only had 2 calls to make today, so they're done. But if I had more queued up, I could hit the hang up button and end my browser dial session right there. So it was great. It was hands-free. Didn't need to put a phone to my ear and wear out my shoulder, and didn't have the human error introduced by misdialing with my fat fingers. And it was just a great disciplined way to make myself power through all those calls. Another great little feature of using the browser dialer is that I could go into my call history by using this button in the top yellow navigation bar. And I could see all of my incoming and outgoing phone conversations that I've had. So here's the call that I made a little while ago to Susie Homebuyer, which was an outgoing call, and it lasted 0 seconds because Susie did not pick up the phone. But then I can also see the call that happened right afterwards to Frank Homeseller, that outgoing call which lasted 7 seconds. So Frank's line did ring, and you can hear the recording here.
So again, that's just me, my other line. So I'm going to give that a ring or so, and then I'm going to hit.
So that was what I said at the moment of our call. You can also go into your list and click into an individual contact like Susie, and within the inbox pane, if you scroll down, you'll see the disposition for how that call went. We entered a note that she needed to talk to her loan officer this week, so maybe a different user logging in to Spectate can come here and see where the relationship left off, and they know right where to pick up. They've got some context. They can press play and they can listen to that audio recording of that call. So Browser Dialer feature is fantastic. It allows you to record calls, and it saves you from misdialing and from having to use your hands. It's a hands-free approach. So a lot of reasons to use the Browser Dialer, and that's how you use it.